Hello, beautiful soul. Sometimes we endure this human experience, which is all the time. Not just like sometimes. You're already in it, baby. This is the spiritual experience, having the human experience. And sometimes we experience feelings that we don't necessarily prefer. Feelings of discomfort, sadness, despair, regret, and feelings of we just want things to stop feeling this way. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So join me, Fancy, your divine feminine empowerment and spiritual awakening coach. Let's get it. Earlier today, I was at the gym and I only had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night. And typically I've noticed when I don't get enough sleep, my emotions are a little more emotional, right? And I'm usually pretty good about feeling my emotions and realizing just how, I think, non-cynical the word is for it. Just how much I don't identify with them. And I'm able to feel them and release them and not suppress them. Usually just let them go. And I was just so tired and like, I don't know what happened. And all of a sudden I was just like, man, I'm feeling like kind of self-conscious at the gym. And it's like, where is this? I'm like wondering where this is coming from. And I'm just tired and like, I'm just kind of feeling sad. And I'm kind of listening to music that's kind of like upbeat and uplifting. Some of the new like 30 Second to Mars album. And I was there and I'm just like, I really like this song. And last time I was here, I was, working out a lot. And this time I'm just like, man, I'm just tired today. And it's like, I feel like, I know I'm not like sad, but whatever I'm feeling right now, my solution was, and I realized, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Just, it's okay to feel this way. That's what I told myself. I know it's something's coming up where I'm feeling maybe some kind of insecurity or something. Maybe it's because I'm wearing these leggings at the gym. They're a little, I feel more revealing in my front area. And usually I've worn these before and I've never had, this come up. Maybe it's just a feeling I've suppressed. And I realized, well, it's okay to feel this way. Because a lot of the times what ends up happening is we want to rush to change how we're feeling. We want to shift. We want to feel better. And the more we do that, it's like we're adding this, like, here's your feelings, and they're like kind of hitting you, right? And technically you're right here and you're saying, no feelings, get back in there, like suppress, suppress, suppress. And that creates a lot of dis-ease. And it's interesting how dis-ease also relates to disease. And I've been seeing a chiropractor the last like 2.5 months. And I learned a lot about subluxations and how when you're stressed out, the muscles in your back, well, in your neck, they'll contract. And they'll do these contractions on the spine and start to kind of misalign it. They'll misalign your vertebrae. And what happens when that happens? Well, they can start pinching on areas and you start getting those like tight knots or something. And when those tightnesses occur physically in your human experience, right? What ends up happening, it starts pressing on this area and it goes down to another organ. Because if you look at the spine and all these nerves are connected to different organs. What my chiropractor had mentioned was there's this book, I think it was like The Great Influenza or something, and it talks about how like it was like back in the 1800s or I don't recall it fully what he said. However, he said, this book was way ahead of its time because, these doctors were looking at, areas where people had misalignment. Like after they had passed, they saw like how the nerves were kind of not as open, and they had issues, or they were getting more diseases than others because of the way their bodies were. So they realized if they start adjusting, they could start literally curing a lot of these ailments, because it releases that tension and that stress. So in the physical world, yeah, if you need the physical assistance to release these things, absolutely. In the metaphysical, spiritual, higher self realm, if you can just get into alignment with your feelings and your emotions, and you don't have any dis-ease, you're at full bliss, guess what happens? Your body will heal on its own. And it's wonderful to hear also, because like my chiropractor's understanding of source energy, and then we're all part of source, which was really rad. We had kind of small connection after I asked him how he was on the spiritual realm of that, and it was dope because like I couldn't contain my excitement about it. Like we were just kind of on the same page. And my point is if you don't realize that it's okay to feel how you're feeling, and you're just suppressing and shoving it down, it creates this tension in your body, and eventually it creates this dis-ease that you're not looking at, and it just stores over the years. So it's best to just accept how you're feeling, and that's what I did today at the gym. I was like, it's okay to feel like this. You know, I'm not really like as uppity. I don't feel like I have as much energy, and I felt like if I met somebody there that I knew, like I would just have been like not very social, and that's okay. I realized that, well, that's okay. Like I've reached the point where I'm so vulnerable to the point where it's like I'm tired. Like this is how I'm feeling. Like you're not gonna get very much from me, you know. Like, and that's authentic rather than putting on this fake portrayed mask of like, oh look, it's me, I'm a Bensi, you know, like human Bensi over here with my human ego. You know, normally where I'm energetic, it's like, why would I play that role when I'm not feeling like that? You know, in the same way, it's just like I just accepted like it's okay to feel this way, and I started shifting, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm feeling more at ease, which led me to making this video. And then also, like earlier, I was like putting some weights back, and I think it was like one of the trainers there. It was like I didn't notice he was walking by, and like I put the weight away, and I was just kind of, you know, zoning the music and just kind of like in my releasing my thoughts. I was kind of just relaxing. And like I turned around and I didn't even notice, and he like stopped, and I'm just like, oh, sorry, like, because it was gonna be like a, you know, a human crash, and like I didn't notice it, and he let me walk by, and then typically I would normally be like, you know, just oh go ahead, and then, you know, and then it was weird because it was like I was just so like in this space that I just kind of felt bad after, like 'cause normally I would be like the one, but then I accepted also in that moment. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be unapologetically myself. Like that happened. He let me go. I said, you know, sorry with a smile, and like I forgot to say thank you. It was the part that was kind of bothering me. Which then I realized it's okay. You know, because the energy I have is thank you. Like it's good. It was a kind, you know, reflection. Anyway, that was just my personal thing. I actually considered like going to this person and letting them know like, sorry, I didn't mean to like cut you off. I was like zoned in. Thank you for letting me, you know, pass by. And like I was just kind of like, I don't really feel like doing that. Although normally I would be very communicative and say stuff like that because I enjoy it, because it's just kind of the person of who I am. Not kinda, it is. I enjoy having vulnerable expression of myself, especially in a loving way to others. And this time I was just like, well, I'm not really in that vibe, and it's okay to be this way, so I had to accept it, right? I'm not showing up at my normal 100% energy, but this is all the energy I have, and this is what I'm showing up at, which is at the 100% of what I'm capable of. This is to the best of my ability in this now moment. So instead of me being so angry at myself, which we tend to do, right? You get my point here. A lot of times we'll get mad at ourselves, creating more dis-ease because we feel a certain way, rather than just realizing it's okay to feel this way. So I hope this assists you on your journey. If you're feeling a certain way, allow yourself to feel it, and don't shove it down and suppress and create this tension and dis-ease in your body. Allow it to be there, release it, and simply just find something that excites you and allows you to feel good. Like if you're struggling to, meditate yourself out of it, if you're overthinking about it too much and you're too stressed out, give yourself 20 minutes of something that you will enjoy to do. Create a happy to-do list. Literally, I've made one. I don't ever look at it because it's just like, I know what things make me happy. And it's like, I know if I start doing them, I'll just instantly be happy. Like EDM music production, videos too. Like, the more I do these and just kind of just go with the flow, that's a good feeling. So find something that excites you for 20, 30 minutes and just do it and then come back. Because you'll never find a solution to the problem while you're in the problem. I mean, you can, it's a little more difficult. It's easier when you have a fresh mind. Okay, so have a wonderful, magnificent, transformative, alchemizing day, beautiful soul. Bye.